Hello, my name's Sam Cheney. I play as Sam, Lean, and Jonah Hill in the new Chris, Rise of the Chrome Chris episode 2. Let's get into it. So, how does my character face new challenges in the movie compared to the old one? Well, actually, my main character, Lean, I actually didn't have him in the last movie. I just played as Kratos. But now I have a lot more roles, and now I play as Lean, so it's kind of hard to. I gotta like inherit that kind of lean energy that Lucas kind of left off, you know. But obviously, an obvious difference that of a challenge that he has to face is kind of creating a new persona of his, because he was obviously an antagonist in the first movie. Now that he has no memory, he kind of has to like create a new version of Lean, which is probably pretty difficult. At least that's what I think. Not to mention Chrome Chris in general. But I guess he doesn't really know that he has to create a new persona, given that, his memory's gone. But, moving on. What was my part in the script of Chris, Rise of the Chrome Chris episode 2, and why? Well, like I said earlier, I play as Jonah Hill, Lean, and the guard, Sam. I mean, for Sam, I guess I'm just Sam. You can't really choose anybody else for that role. I guess it's, like it's literally just a picture of me in the movie. But yeah, for me being Lean, I don't for me being Lean, I think it was almost kind of like a task that Lucas gave me. Like for it to like really work out that well. Not to mention Lucas having all these other roles of himself too that he has to deal with. Me having that challenge of facing the character of Lean and being able to play him, and me being able to actually execute it well. That's probably why. Just I guess just to add to the story more. How did my character's relationship with others involve this topic? Well, at the beginning of the movie, Lean became close friends with Joey because they were just stuck in the pit. I think that they were close friends because, like, who else were they going to talk to, it kind of involved in this installment because it's like I said earlier, like, it's about Lean creating a new persona of himself. And I feel like this movie is actually kind of Lean focused a bit. Like, he has a bigger part than he did in the last one. And so that adds to the movie probably a lot. Having more relationships with Lean rather than just, one other antagonist in the story. The new villain in the movie and how the characters and how my characters, I guess specifically, interacted with him. I gotta say, the new villain in this movie is going to be a lot more powerful, and it honestly makes it a lot of fun to be in this movie. I'm actually kind of hoping that we get to see more of Chrome Chris in the future, which would be pretty cool. Like every kind of like superhero. Not saying that like this is a superhero, but like every single franchise, I guess, kind of has its like main villain that it sticks around with. Like Marvel has its Thanos. DC has its Joker. I guess DC has a lot, but when you think of DC villains, you think a Joker. But it would be really cool for the Chrisverse to have, like Chrome Chris as their main villain. So I guess that's kind of the most I can say about the new villain. But how my character interacts with them, how my characters actually, Lean and Chrome Chris probably, they probably have the worst because, like Chrome Chris, that's actually where we first see him. Like, I believe where we first see him is him in an interaction, but not like very good. Like him going after Joey and Lean because Lean actually made the Beardstone. So it's kind of all I can answer to that one. Do you have any stunts or action sequences to perform? Did I have any action sequences to perform? How did you prepare for those scenes? Well, really, I don't really think that I actually had that many, except for when my character Lean had to kind of dig out of the pit, but that was off screen, so that wasn't really too big of a deal. Jonah Hill, I guess there's that big fight scene, so it was pretty hard to limber up for. Because, Jonah Hill. Um, which character was my favorite and why? That's actually a really hard one. That's hard for me to answer. But I guess out of just lack of options here. Not really lack of options, but like lack of knowledge that much about like all of the characters. Because I can't really know every single character that's in the movie. Well, yeah. I guess I'm just gonna go with lean, like the safest option here. That would probably be the most like inside the shell option I can choose, because it's actually kind of cool, honestly, too, how he has a lot more focus in this movie than he did in the last one. So that probably adds to the reason why he's one of my favorites. What exciting details can I share about Lean's backstory and origins in his movie? Well, like I said before, he was trapped in that pit with Joey after that big fight, because we kind of left off after, like, we picked up where the first one kind of left off. At least that's what I believe. Because, like, right after the big fight, we immediately go to the place where they fought. So obviously that was all, that was probably a big deal in how it was all going down, because we didn't really think of much of Lean in the first place in the first movie. We just thought he was going to be another villain. But, that probably... This is also, not to mention in this movie, we're probably going to create a lot more backstory for Lean. That's going to be more established. So, yeah. What was the most challenging aspect of portraying my character in the movie? Honestly, like I said earlier, it was kind of like inheriting that Lean kind of energy from Lucas. That was a pretty difficult part. Because, Lucas and I, we have different voices, different people, different personalities, So it's like really kind of different and hard. Like, it's like really different how Lucas portrayed him, and then, me having that role. It's a challenge, but, it's just how it is. It's fun. Okay. Did I have any input in developing your character's storyline? How do you think it would feel? Okay, that's, well, I'm actually one of the co-writers, so, just a short summary of that one. I feel like I had just a little bit of input in the movie, given that I'm one of the co-writers. But, alright, final question here. What sets Chris, The Rise of Chrome Chris Episode 2 apart from the previous movie? Honestly, and why should fans be excited about our new installment? Okay, well, I feel like the fans should be more excited too, because, honestly, I think it's a bit better of a plot, anyway. Like, now that there are more writers and, like, more energy put into it, it's a lot more thought into it, a lot more dedication put into it as well. I feel like it's going to set it apart by being kind of better. And I think it's going to be one of those things where it's like the first movie was just kind of a setup for the second movie. The second movie is going to be like the real thunder that brings in the saga. So yeah, my name is Sam Cheney, and this has been my interview for Chris, Rise of the Chrome Chris, Episode 2. I'm excited to see you watching the movie.